Meet Rachel Wright. Rachel is 28 and works in Whangarei as a civil engineer. A high achiever professionally, Rachel is also in good shape, exercising every day and keeping an eye on what she eats. But it wasn't always that way. In 2003, Rachel looked like this, a size 30 plus, 126 kilograms, and miserable.
I've been overweight for most of my life, throughout childhood and teenage years, but I was somewhat more active then. And then I went to university and decided I didn't have enough time to exercise or do the sports that I was doing, and stopped and started drinking and eating whatever I liked. And I started putting on the weight, but I really put it on when I moved up to Whangarei and didn't know anybody and was very lonely and depressed and had a very sedentary lifestyle.
A vicious cycle she found very hard to break.
Before I lost weight, I was in a very, very dark place. I was lonely and depressed all the time. I had no social skills. I didn't go out, and it just got worse and worse. The longer I stayed at home, the lonelier I got. I was depressed. I was on antidepressants from my doctor. That just made it worse because it meant that I didn't care about being depressed and sad and lonely. So I just ate more.
Rachel's weight also began to threaten her health in other ways.
I was under advisement from my doctor to lose weight because I had high cholesterol and high blood pressure. I had constant pain in my hips and knees. All of my joints were sore all of the time, particularly in winter. And just general lack of energy. I couldn't find the energy to get up in the morning.
Rachel knew her weight posed a serious threat to her health and was making her unhappy. But the motivation she needed to try and lose weight only came when what should have been the happiest day in her life turned out to be one of her lowest points.
I got married to my husband when I was at my heaviest, and my wedding day was an absolute nightmare. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong, and he had a great time catching up with his mates for the day, and I just hated it. Someone that large doesn't like being the centre of attention, and you're sitting there and people are talking to you and looking at you and taking photos of you, and it's not a very comfortable time. And what I found was that I got more and more stressed, ate nothing, drank nothing all day, and by the time it was time for us to be bundled into a taxi to go to the hotel that night, I was a ball of stress, and I took it out on Daniel, and we had a rip-roaring argument. And that pretty much continued for the rest of the honeymoon, and not that there was really a honeymoon. And that's when I realised that I was angry for no good reason, and I needed to stop taking it out on other people and address my own problems.